Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We got a new product here for you guys. It is the ANPUDS, and we'll go in here and take a look real quick what they have in this box here. But first and foremost, this is a blow molded case, and it is about 2 inches thick. And I actually like in this case what they've done with it. They actually add a little bit of texture and some color to the box. So opening up inside, what you're going to find here is both your bolt extractor, nut extractor, as well as your screw extractor is going to be located on this side. You have a total of 5 of them there. And then you have a gambit starting from 8 millimeters going all the way up to 19 millimeters, or 5/16 going all the way up to 3/4. And we'll run those off real quick. So 3/8, 10, 7/16, and 11, 12 millimeter. Up next, 1/2 inch, 9/16 or 14 millimeters, 9/32 and 15, 5/8, 16 millimeter, 17, 11/16, 18 millimeter, and 3/4 or 19 millimeters. And they do a good job actually illustrating, and we'll bring this up to you guys here, in the top corner here, what each of those are. So feel free to pause if you want to see what's on there. And that set is a 21-piece set. So let's take a quick look at those. As you see here, if you guys are new to bolt extractors, they are actually a very nice tool to have. And these ones by ANPUDS are traditional chromoly. Many of them are chromoly. I don't really know if anybody else does anything else besides chromoly, because it's just a really good metal that is able to absorb being beaten up on and impact use. Now, they use, it looks like they did a laser etching on these. It's clear, you can see it, although I would say with time that's going to wear off. I would prefer some sort of stamping or roll stamping on these. But the design of these is very much on par with what's out there in the marketplace. It does have some retention holes that are inside there. And a good chamfering. That is a good socket. Now all that will be pretty much the same. Right, these are all going to be 3/8 drive. Even down to the smallest one. Now this one gets a little tricky because in the corners it is getting pretty thin. So running an impact on this, I mean, granted the smallest size is an 8 millimeter. You're not going to get too much impact into it, but that is kind of pushing it with this setup. Now worst case too is if for whatever reason you can't run an impact and you're going to put a wrench on this, this is going to be able to put a socket over the end of it so that you're able to grab onto it and loosen the extractor. So that's a good setup. We'll look at each one of these. So how this system works, and there's different extractors out there that have different vanes, right, that allow the bolts or nuts or whatever type of fastener that you put inside here. Right, this actually slowly reduces in size as you go to the back. So as it's on the front, you can see here, it only goes so deep and it stops. And that's by design, because each of the bolts that you're going to be taking off, they can be fully rounded, and you want this to be able to reach on there. It's also worth noting that this style, and this is my favorite style as of right now, because it does a great job only trying to reach on the flats. As you can see here, each one of those spines center on the flats. So as you completely take that corner off, it doesn't care. It's searching for the flats to grab onto. And then once you get it on there, you're going to want to beat it with a hammer, right, to get it always seated. And you don't have to go too crazy with the hammer, but the point is you want to beat on it till it gets in there and it bites down nice and tight on the flats. And once you're done with that, then you can take and put a wrench on there and just slowly back it out. Ideally with this case, I wouldn't be using an impact, just because an impact could cause more braking. You're going to want to use a wrench in the case of this to slowly take it out. So that's the idea. Now, are you limited to that type of design? You're only using it on hex? No, you could use it on perfectly round bolts. You can use it on studs, although studs might be a little bit harder because of the actual threading. Right, if you're trying to put it on this part, it's not going to bite as well because there's less material. But let's take a look which size fits this best real quick. Yeah, this one would work. We'll just double check. And that one would be a push. So we're going to take the 14 millimeter here and put it on the end. And again, the idea is, well, you want to grab the flats. In this case, there are no flats. But as you hammer it in, it's going to spline itself onto the fastener. Actually, it's a reverse counterclockwise, so it's going to spline in this way. And then it's going to allow you to put your wrench on there and pull it out. And as it slips, it's actually going to push itself in tighter to bite harder. And that's the beauty of this style, right? This style of bolt extractor is those splines just taper down in there, and they just want to keep getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So, and then one thing that's worth noting is once you get a bolt, nut, whatever fastener inside there, it's going to stay lodged and they're very tight. In some sets, and you guys could go back to one of my previous videos, it's actually my first video I did, it was a bolt extractor set. It's a little bit smaller than this, but it was larger for taking off lug nuts. And I'd say it's worth watching that if you ever want to learn how to take lug nuts off of your vehicle, if it's locking, if it's just a rusty beat up lug nut, right? Something that you physically can't get off. This style works exceptionally well. But what happens is once you get it really tight inside there, you're going to need to knock it out. Now this isn't the best example. I have skinnier ones, but there was a skinnier one that came with my other set. And the idea is you're going to want to put that inside there, and you just take it and you just hit it on the ground. So a screwdriver will work for that short stubby, or if you got a little skinnier piece of metal like this lying around. So this one just doesn't quite fit for this example, but I'm sure you guys can imagine how that works. Is you just slam it in there, that goes up through, and it'll pop out eventually whatever fastener you have stuck inside there. So it's a great tool, and I would take it and throw it inside there, leave it inside there, so you got something to help you extract out those fasteners. Now the other items that are inside here besides those are, you got a nice little chrome vanadium reducer. If you're going to run a 1/2 inch drive down to your 3/8, this is a great little reducer to have on hand. The same goes for if you're trying to go up. I like that they roll stamped at least these, but as you're trying to size up from a 1/4 inch all the way up to 3/8, then you have an upsizer. And then they also have, if you're going to run an impact on it, then they have your 1/4 inch to 3/8 drive for your impact. Now next up, and this is what I like about this set, is they actually managed to put kind of a little bit of everything in one, because there's going to be times you're going to want to have a screw extractor set, and this one does that. And we'll just pull one out here. You can see how they look. Get a focus. Again, laser etched. And they call this number 3. They number them 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so what the deal with this is when you have this pesky screw, let's say you've stripped out, a perfect case is going to be if you've got a Phillips, is you'll strip those out, run a bit in them, and then you'll have to find a way to remove them. And so the great thing about this setup is you're able to take it and plug it into your chuck, like so, on your impact, or you do it on a traditional drill as well. You just have to tighten it down, and then what you do is you put it in reverse, and that allows these teeth to start to bite in and tear into the screw to create the cone shape that is required. That's when you take this and you remove it, and then just flip it around once you've dug it out, and it locks back in. And then that allows you to do this cone shape side, as you can see here. Just trying to get you guys a good shot. So that then burrows down in, bites in, and then allows you to extract the screw. And of course, all these actions are going to be happen in counterclockwise with this tool. So we'll show you here in just a second of what that looks like. All right, let's try on this guy right here and see if we could eat out the center of the screw. All right, as you can see there, they had a nice little chunk. Let's try and see if we could then switch this over to the opposing side. Here we go. And we'll see if that actually could sink itself down inside there. And we'll go slow. Well, there you go, guys. A bit in. and it removed the screw. And it's plenty hot. So take note of that. And then the easy way to take it back out is just put it back in, or hold it with a set of pliers, and then go clockwise. And that allows you to now remove it. And if you need to, of course, this is nice and warm. Now you've removed that screw from whatever, if this is the side of an engine, if it's part of, something you're working on your house, you name it, you now have the chance to remove these screws with this screw extractor that's in the set. Now, up next, we'll take a look at using these on a stuck bolt and see how well it removes the bolt. Alright, so now we've got the extractors, and this is the 3/4 inch or 19 mil that we're going to go ahead and put on this lug nut. Now this is a little bit smaller lug nut than normal, but we're going to give it a shot here and see how well it works on this. Now you take it, you place it over, ideally you want it to line up with the flats. And once it's on there, you want to give it a good couple hits. Now if this doesn't work, you may have to come back and hit it harder a second time, but we'll go ahead and give it a shot. Now we'll take our impact, and we'll use the provided bit here, the 3/8 bit, and see if we just give it a little shot and see what happens. As I thought, not quite enough with a typical 1/4 inch drive impact, but let's just see if we could go ahead and do it by hand in this case. Now if you have another impact, they do make 3/8 inch drive impacts, you could go at it that way, but me at this point, I would just prefer to take it off by hand. Alright, there you go. Actually loosened it right up. Take it off by hand. And like so, you have extracted it. Now, if you get yourself a screwdriver, in this case, a flathead will do well. Just take it, hold it like so, give it a couple hits on the ground. And there you go. But as you can see here, this is how it has engaged on the fastener. Right, it digs in with those teeth to give a really nice secure bite to pull it off, and none of it actually hit the corners. So if you'd have a rounded off fastener, that's where these spiral bolt extractors actually do a very good job. If you don't have some, I would definitely add some of these to your toolkit, because there will come a time that you will need this to remove pesky lug nuts or bolts on whatever it is that you're working on. Alright guys, so this set here, all included, right, this 21-piece set will run you about, I think it's about $27 on Amazon right now. Now the construction of it, it seems pretty good. I mean, I like it. It's about on par with what I've purchased already. It's a decent set. And now it's made in China, which I feel like most of these bolt extractor sets are going that direction for China made. And I also wanted to mention that too on this screw extractor. This one does not fit in your chuck. It is too big. It is actually, I think, about a 9mm in size. So with this one in particular, you cannot just quickly plug it in. You are going to have to take it and put it inside your drill to run it. Now, I don't know why they went ahead and left these recessed detents to make you think that you could put it in your chuck, because your chuck is a 1/4 inch drive. This is not. This is more along 9mm, and it's just too big to try to put inside your gun. There's just no way. So just know that the largest one is not going to fit. Other than that, it's a good set, and I'd like to thank ANPUDS for sending us this set. They just wanted to get a review from us to tell them what we thought about this product, whether good, bad, and I'd say it's a good set for quantity-wise. It does have its little issues that I mentioned that I wish were a little bit different. Otherwise, the set is actually a pretty solid one, and for the price of $27 on Amazon, you're not going to get hurt. It's a decent set, and it comes in a good carrying case, and it offers a higher quantity than most that are even out there. It's nice that they tie everything in between screw and bolt extraction. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you have a set like this that you like or you prefer? Have you tried this one? I love hearing your guys' feedback, and I do answer all of your comments. So feel free to drop a comment, and I'm happy to answer your comments or questions that you have regarding these products. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.